Camera. Hello out there, and welcome to 15-minute quarantine days, episode 2. Keep trying to bring you some fresh game. It's tough times right now. So, a couple of notes on the program. Yesterday we let it go to a hard cut, which we normally wouldn't do. And that was a technical problem, and I decided to just say, you know what, keep it. And if anybody notices it, it'll let us know that they watched the whole thing. And you know, that's hopefully what we're going for here. Oh, you're looking at a Citroen, custom modified by my dad to become an Arab taxi from Libya, 1942, for the Desert Air Force, Royal Air Force. Coming up next is an awesome little Model T truck. One of my favorite things ever. So yeah, we wanted to see if you were, if you watched it all the way through, because this is like a thing for us. We're trying to do for you what you want to hear from us, and because we love you. And that's, valuable in the challenging times we're all going through together here. I'm very comfortable in my TARDIS that travels through space and time of my own choosing on my own terms. It's very, it only took me 25 years to achieve it. But this whole introvert, stay-at-home thing, buttermilk biscuits, baby, that's where I'm at. It's just that and a bowl of gravy, man. Bring that. I had no problem. And I started social isolating because I got sick early in February. It's just off. I wasn't right. I don't know that I was right on the cusp of sick, and the more I took care of myself, the better I was able to maintain some continuity and keep my step count up and everything. So really, for me, this is like, April, what is it, it's 420, that's right, because the helicopters are overhead, looking for crowds of idiots, which there aren't any, because even stoners aren't as stupid as those Trump shirt motherfuckers petitioning for reopening Fuddruckers and calling themselves protectors. Assholes. It's gotta be, 2 months? 2 months for me? The thing I miss, though, is the kids that I teach. I miss my job. I really do. I think most people probably feel somewhat the same. At least most of the people who have a rewarding job as opposed to a slag, which I've done plenty of myself, but believe me, I get it. But, yeah, I miss that. Anyways, we're supposed to be talking about what you want to hear about, so that's 3 minutes and 47 seconds of me babbling on. Let's get down to business. A great mentor and very old friend who stood shoulder to shoulder with me against some serious fucked up shit. Dangerous craziness, and I with him, and I would have his back to the grave. Sherman Harris, talking about you. This dude, an absolute mentor. I don't even know how to explain all the things I learned from that dude. I will tell you this, if nothing else, he introduced me to the Wu-Tang Clan, which I heard for the first time ever inside his ride on a nice break from where we were working, which shall remain nameless, because it ain't about that, it's about this. And hallelujah, show me the light, my man. That is a gift that just has kept on giving all the way up through me buying my videotapes from the same place they bought their videotapes, bootleg, China, downtown. halfway over from from Chinatown in Manhattan, yo. Oh my God. Who should Biden pick for his vice president running mate? Or, yeah, whatever. Vice president. Well, it would be... Look, the obvious choice is the guy he's not going to pick. We all know who that is. The one who should be the damn president anyway, because he's been right about everything since at least 1993 on video, and morally since like 1960. So we know who that is. We know who the real dude is. Runner-up, the chameleon progressive Harvard business economist who actually has a plan for everything and is very competent, and there's no lack of respect for that. You know, I tend to find myself in the political spectrum as expressed in the world, as opposed to hyper-polarized shitstorm USA. I'm kind of an Eisenhower Republican, really. Tax everything over $1 million at 92%, and then let that few dozen people say thank you to America for letting them get rich, as opposed to us supposedly thanking them for us being able to exist whatsoever. So yeah, I would take Warren in a heartbeat. Now, historical precedent says that's a bad idea. But historical precedent, when Mondale and Ferraro lost ridiculously, first of all, we aren't that anymore. Yes, there's still sexist domination for sure, and yeah, shit is not as it should be yet. But we're not as bad as we were. So yeah, Warren in a heartbeat. Mostly because I think if he backed her up, she would destroy that Nazi son of a bitch in every debate, if he was even willing to have any. And I have to say, this is all conditioned on the possibility of even having elections whatsoever, which is entirely debatable. That's up in the air. There's no certainty of that. We don't know that we're going to be allowed to have elections in November. You know, the ship sailed, as far as I'm concerned, in 2016. I pray I'm wrong, but I know Nazis. And these motherfuckers, they wait for generations they've waited for this moment. And energy levels matter. You know, Obama generated a tremendous wave of historic energy, and that was why he was able to beat the fix. And he did. But this is not that. This is a whole other world. And it is not a good one. So, we may be down 1 million by November. Hard to say. We're down over 120,000 real terms right now. I don't know. The alternative to Warren, who's the obvious smart person, adult in the room, who's competent and knows what the hell she's talking about, as, you know, she can speak when Joe can't make a sentence. And I do worry about him just even being alive very long. He doesn't appear to be in good shape to my eye. Doesn't matter. We're all going to vote for him. But will it be enough? Will we even be allowed to? I don't know. So I guess Warren. That's the answer to that question. Hopefully Warren. I don't know what sort of insider hack he would choose instead of her. I mean, of the other running mates, you know he's not going to pick Pete Buttigieg. He's not going to pick Mayor Pete. And Andrew Yang, no, I don't think that's a chance in hell. So I think Warren is our best bet, and I'd be totally okay with that. I'd rather her be president than him. Anyways, there's that. So, what other things have you requested we talk about? Well, this is nice, eh? This is, I believe, Orange Goblin. Is that right? Yeah, Orange Goblin. Pretty nice, heavy stuff. A little bit of satanic, but you know, you kind of want that in a metal band, so it's all good. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, of all the cities I've lived in, that city makes the best entrance. Because you come out of the Fort Pitt Tunnel, which is the highway that goes off of the Point, or the what do they call it, the Iron Triangle. It's a bridge, but it's like way up high. It's got to be 300 feet in the air. So you come in at basically like mid-level height on all their skyscrapers, which are all clustered in the downtown Point. And I know there's Fort Point is right down there, where the Ohio and the Allegheny rivers come together. And so you're driving along through Pennsylvania or anywhere else because the roads there are bizarre. And you end up on the road, the highway that takes you from NC Solar. You come in on the highway from the airport, and you go through this long-ass tunnel, and then all of a sudden you just pop out, and you're on a giant girder bridge that's suspended way high up, and like the skyscrapers are just like right in your... It's like the helicopter shot of every cool city and every cool movie that you've ever seen, when they're like, and then, you know, they cut away from the close-up of the guy going, and that's why we're gonna win, or whatever, and then they cut, and then it's like super banging soundtrack, and there's like the skyscrapers of the city that tries to make Milwaukee look like New York or whatever. You know, it's like, this is dope shitty, check it out. Cut to a montage of like cameras moving back and forth across the front end of a car, it doesn't matter what, or a tank, or I don't know, shark with a freaking laser beam, whatever. But Pittsburgh actually sort of achieves that in real life, that like bam entrance, that like Fast and Furious entrance, which is funny because they're not fast. They're certainly not fast. It's the only city I ever lived in where people would tell you, oh, you can't get there from here. And you'd go, haha, he's being a dick, right? No, he was telling you the truth. Like, you really can't get there from here. Like, you got to go to this other place and then go across the river, then go down the river, then go. You's got to go over the south side, and then you got to run down from the lava barrel over down to the Fort Point kind of over there, and you can take the bridge over to the north side, but you got to go to Fort Pitt. If you go in the tunnel, you know, hey, Independence, gone. You're out of there, bud. So, turn right at the Giant Eagle. For those of you who don't speak Pennsylvania, that was the Giant Eagle. It's a grocery store. It's the Safeways of Pennsylvania, or the Kroger of Pennsylvania, or the whatever. What's the one in Houston? Oh my God, H-E-B, right? Hermione Butts. and respect, mad respect to H-E-B, for real. If y'all down in the South, like, H-E-B is legit. I love y'all. Yeah, 3 times in Houston. A lot of time in Houston. 3 times living there. Houston is got a lot of beautiful things in it. Like, way more than it gets credit for. It is a beautiful international city. It's far more international than people realize. I spent a lot of time in Little Saigon and in the Montrose district. That was sort of my native. As an artist, I immediately ended up in the Montrose. Montrose, Richmond. And, man, still to this day, the best damned torta I ever had was at Taqueria Arendas on Richmond Avenue in Houston, Texas. And I even had cabezas there. And sesos y todos. Oh, la lenguas. Oh, todos buenos. Amazing. And Houston, you know, it's got kickers too, man. It's fun. Emotes. I don't even know if any of it's left anymore, but a lot of good stories there. Well, we're kind of running out of our time right now. Dang Me by Roger Miller. And I'll tell you what, that old boy, he makes a nice song. First time I ever heard him was in an 8-track tape that my grandpa had in St. Petersburg, Florida, in a trailer park, because that's what snowbirds live in. It was 2 blocks over from Fisherman's Wharf. My dad and I went there and ate every single thing on the menu in 2 weeks. Every night. Fantastic. First oysters, first shrimp. No, not first shrimp. First oysters, first clams, first scallops, Love y'all, St. Petersburg. Stay crazy, Florida. Ciao.